Hello students, welcome to today's biology session. We are diving into one of the most fascinating topics, evolution, the unfolding of life. In this class, we'll understand how species, including humans, have evolved over millions of years and how science explains these changes. First, let's understand what evolution means. Evolution is the process by which living organisms have changed over time from earlier forms. It explains the diversity of life on Earth. It's not just about fossils, evolution continues even today in bacteria, plants, and humans. Let's begin with the earliest theory, Lamarckism. Jean-Baptiste Lamarck believed that traits developed during an organism's lifetime could be passed on to offspring. For example, giraffes stretched their necks to reach tall trees, and this trait was inherited. But this theory was later disproven because acquired traits don't affect genes. Charles Darwin gave us the famous theory of natural selection. He said evolution happens gradually through small, favorable variations that help an organism survive. These organisms reproduce more, passing on those helpful traits. This process over generations leads to the formation of new species. Now comes Hugo de Vries, who disagreed with Darwin's slow changes. He proposed the mutation theory that large, sudden changes, called mutations, are responsible for evolution. Though his idea of sudden change was extreme, today we agree that mutations are the raw material of evolution, but natural selection acts on them. The accepted view today is the modern synthetic theory or neo-Darwinism. It combines Darwin's natural selection with modern genetics. Evolution is now defined as a change in allele frequency in a population over time. What drives evolution in the modern view? 1. Mutations and recombination. These introduce variation. 2. Natural selection acts on variation. 3. Gene flow. Migration adds or removes genes. 4. Genetic drift, random changes, especially in small populations. Let's explore genetic drift in more detail. The bottleneck effect happens when a natural disaster reduces population size. The survivors may have a different gene pool. Example, cheetahs have very low genetic diversity due to past bottlenecks. The founder effect happens when a few individuals start a new colony. Their traits may dominate, even if rare in the original population. Example, high rates of certain genetic disorders in isolated communities like the Amish. What if evolution doesn't occur? That's what the Hardy-Weinberg principle explains. It's a theoretical model of a non-evolving population. Allele frequencies stay the same over generations if 5 conditions are met. 1. No mutation. 2. Random mating. 3. No natural selection. 4. Large population size. 5. No gene flow. It gives us a baseline to detect whether evolution is happening. The mathematical form of this principle is p squared plus 2pq plus q squared equals 1, where p and q are the frequencies of dominant and recessive alleles. We rarely see this equilibrium in nature because evolution is constantly happening. Now let's talk about speciation, the formation of new species. Over time, if populations stop interbreeding and accumulate genetic differences, they become new species. There are 2 major types, allopatric and sympatric. Allopatric speciation occurs when a population is physically separated by mountains, rivers, or distance. They evolve independently, like Darwin's finches on the Galapagos Islands. Sympatric speciation happens without physical separation due to genetic changes or behavior. It's common in plants through polyploidy and in animals through sexual selection. Now let's explore the patterns of evolution. Divergent evolution, one species splits into many, each adapted to a different niche. This leads to homologous structures like human arms and bat wings. Convergent evolution, different species evolve similar traits due to similar environments. For example, dolphins and sharks both have streamlined bodies. These are analogous structures. Another pattern is coevolution, where two species evolve in response to each other, like a predator evolving sharper claws while prey evolves better camouflage, or a flower evolving a shape to suit its pollinator. Let's now move to human evolution. The most accepted model is the out of Africa theory, which states that Homo sapiens evolved in Africa and then migrated to other continents, replacing earlier human species. Human evolution is like a branching tree, not a straight line. Let's look at the timeline. Australopithecus afarensis, Lucy, lived about 3.9 to 2.9 million years ago. She walked upright and used simple tools. Homo habilis, handy man, appeared 2.4 to 1.6 million years ago. He had a larger brain and used old oven tools, sharp stone flakes. Then came Homo erectus, upright man, who lived 1.8 million to 117,000 years ago. He used fire and Acheulean tools like hand axes. Homo neanderthalensis, Neanderthals, lived 400,000 to 40,000 years ago. They were advanced hunters and showed signs of burial rituals. Homo sapiens, us, appeared around 300,000 years ago. We developed language, art, agriculture, and complex tools. So, students, evolution is the story of how life changes. From tiny mutations to the rise of humans, this journey spans millions of years. Remember, evolution is not a finished process, it continues today in every living organism. That's all for today. Revise each concept thoroughly.